My friends, good morning. We are playing Lethal Enforcers on Super Nintendo today. I rented this game from Blockbuster as a kid, and I remember really loving it. And we're playing it on the original Super Nintendo controller, which will make it a little more challenging than using, say, an actual gun. If you're new here, I'm Jerry Banfield. I play games live one time, just one time. And you will love seeing all the different games I play. You'll love the wild conversations we have here. If you're not already a subscriber, you will love joining us as a subscriber, coming back for the live streams every day. So let's get into this game. We'll start off with the training range. I was hoping to use the Super Nintendo mouse on this game. I thought it worked, but it didn't. Who smashed that like button first? Crambroni and Steve Riley, thanks a lot for being here today. We'll sharpen up our skills on the shooting range here to warm it up. I think I played this game originally with the little gun that came with it. This game was a big scandal at the time because it showed real life violence. Like, it showed you shooting real people instead of just like animated characters. So far, the Super Nintendo controller reasonably accurate if you kind of just go in grid pattern on it. Not bad. Up to Patrolman, 30 shots, missed one shot, 96% accuracy. Get to go on to the next one. All right. Let me know what games you'd like me to see. I read all my YouTube comments. I generally will drop a heart on it to let you know that I've read that comment. Well, I was listening to something today about, what is it called? I don't know, I love listening to things about aliens, extraterrestrials, basically saying that, you know, we aren't even native to this planet, that we are hybrids, essentially mixed with what was here, and mixed with alien races in order to help us level up. So I'm always listening to stuff like that. It's so fun. I love getting my perspective out there and learning and advancing new things. Dang, we're knocking him dead! We're knocking him dead! Let's go, baby! What's up, Tamil Thriller? Lil Phil, 291. Evan Almighty, nice to see you today. See how high we can get up in this training. I'm feeling very secure today in what I've got to offer because, you know, what makes this life nice is when you're aware of, you know, what do you have to offer people. Man, they really... Ah! Moving targets a little more challenging with this controller. Just gotta hit them right when they come across. Then we can essentially move... Did I clear that successfully? Dude, I was hella missing. Fire spraying that all over the place. 10 misses. I got demoted for that? Rude. You had this game on Sega Genesis? Nice. I don't know if I want to do training again. That training was... Dude! This controller! I was missing both sides on that thing. We'll practice a little bit before we go in against the enemies. That's getting a little bit better. Wow. Alright, that's getting a little bit better. Twisted Metal 2. I'm looking for the Twisted Metal 2s. I haven't seen them at my local game store. I think I'm doing at least 2 streams today. Patrolman. Ah, quit putting me in Patrolman. That's what I was for real. I deserve to be a sergeant. Actually, I decided when I was a police officer, I'd rather bang the dispatcher than be a sergeant. Well, and that's how it worked out, too. I did bang the dispatcher, did not get to become a sergeant, my friends. That's why I'm here playing video games. I've thought about what do I have the absolute most passion for in my life. It's gaming. You know, I played video games since I was a kid. And I've loved and had this huge passion for video games. What? So rude! Demote me. Alright, screw the training. Screw the training. You know what? Let's go in. We're gonna get it in, just play the regular game. We had enough warming up on here. Enough foreplay, let's stick it in. Let me know what mission you want me to do. Brandon, what's up, Brandon? You're visiting in Tennessee? Nice, my pleasure. I was thinking about you yesterday. I was thinking about, you know, this is a really great time on my YouTube channel because I'm aiming to bring as many people in here that would love to be in here. You know, I may never have a small YouTube channel again. And this is a time to be enjoyed. A sacred time. It's really, dude, some of the things are pixelating and they're not coming out right. You know, this is a really sweet time in my YouTube channel where I can know most of you that are in the chat. It's screwing around picking up the Magnum bullets. Dude laid one into me. I was trying to shoot the dude. Dude, I've taken 4 shots already? Oh my goodness. Did you ever play this in the arcade? If we're in the arcade though, we could just throw infinite quarters into it. Yeah. The graphics are pretty good for like Super Nintendo because they don't make very many things move at once. So it's easier. Dude, did you even see that guy over there? I got that dude quick. And because I'm actually playing on a stretched screen, you're seeing the original ratio. My cursor moves a little faster left to right than it does up and down. Because the pixels are stretched on my screen, but you're getting like the original pixels on your screen. Got that dude with a dome piece. Crazy, see my game came with a gun? Yeah, Kung Fu Classic, I should be good at this. Joe said I haven't played this game since a kid. I know, this was a great, I enjoyed this one. We rented this from Blockbuster. I want that. No, give me that 9mm. Sitting here banging away with a revolver. I'm putting multiple bullets into him when everybody's one shot in this game. I remember at the police academy, they had me do some scenarios that were basically like Lethal Enforcers. And, you know, they would talk you through them and then there'd be a scenario. And the first time, I don't know, there was like a guy holding a baby with a knife. And it's like, what are you gonna do? So I just pointed a gun at him, shot him in the head. And the instructor's like, oh, that's a lucky shot. I'm like, no, it wasn't. I'm good at video games. This is just a video game. And that's what I do in real life, too. Bang him in the face. And the instructor's like, all right, let's see you do it again. So then he gets another scenario with like a, you know, woman being abducted. The guy has a knife. So I shoot that guy in the head, too. He's like, all right, anybody can get lucky twice. Let's try a third time. And the third scenario, I shot him up in the third scenario. He's like, all right, maybe you are actually good at this. I'm like, practice makes perfect. I've been shooting people in video games for a long time now. This is basically the same thing. I know the technology at the police academy wasn't a whole lot more advanced than Lethal Enforcers either. Ah, missed through his car window. Why does it care how accurate I am? So what if a couple of stray bullets pop a random person? Actually. Like, thanks for smashing those like buttons, my friend. Bang him in the face needs to be on my next t-shirt. Let's go. I'm remembering this is a sacred, beautiful time in my YouTube channel, because I'm aiming. I think there's 11 billion. I know there's 11 million people who would love to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to enjoy some great gameplay and to see all these different games. And I'm adjusting what I'm doing to match what is desired. And therefore, this is a really special time here. Because it's nice being able to know everybody or almost everybody that's in the chat. It's funny how sometimes we can get so focused on where we want to go that we just wish we were there instead of enjoying where we're at. Like, I'm glad I enjoyed being a single man so much because I've been a married man now for almost 10 years. This dude needs to... Dude's popping his... Dude, did I hit that out? This dude with a rocket launcher is pretty serious. Yeah, got the dude with a rocket launcher. Let's go, baby. Did you get changed into unisex locker rooms like RoboCop? I sure would have liked to. Brandon says maybe I'll cancel my Facebook sub and sub here. Yeah, go for it. I would like to delete all my stuff off of Facebook, but as long as people are supporting there, you know, I'll take the several hundred a month that I'm getting. It's funny, I make more than most people streaming on Facebook still, even though I'm demonetized, because so many of you are still subscribed there. I understand, Brandon, it can be hard to let go of stuff, but hey, if you really want to do it, just drop your membership on here, you get the top spot up there, and then you'll be strongly motivated to cancel that Facebook one. I've made myself accountable to each of you here. I will not stream anywhere besides this YouTube channel without talking with each of you for at least a week about it. And my mom said she'll sponsor me on my... Oh, banged that old man! Get moving! Dude, I shot the old man twice. You better move your ass or I'm gonna bang you a third time! I'm pretty sure that dude got the knife in. See, if you played this game enough, you'd know where they're all gonna... Do they pop up randomly ever? Do they just pop randomly up, or is it the same? Let me get the big boy over here. I almost did shoot. So thanks for telling me not to shoot right there. Alright, who's catching it next? Who's catching another one? I actually got excited to play this game, but then I didn't want to play it because I couldn't use the Super Nintendo mouse. The Super Nintendo mouse would have been so much better to use with this. I read on Reddit that the Super Nintendo mouse should work, but apparently that was incorrect. Sometimes in life, just go forward. It's not how you thought it'd be, but... Dang, that dude shot and got out of there. This guy with a knife's not really good. I think he ought to be getting it in from where he's stabbing at. Ah, you like how I shot the flying knife away? That's pretty sexy. That's pretty good Super Nintendo skills right there. Come on, who's next? Ah, I shot the knife away again. That's pretty sexy. I about popped you. You should dress different. You should not be dressed just like they're dressed. This guy needs to stop bringing a knife to the gunfight because he's really catching it every time. Wait, why did that say that guy said you can't shoot me? Oh shit! I thought she was gonna say don't shoot, but that's tricky. Ah, the knife got me that time. I ran out of ammo. Did we finish this level? What's up, Code G Breezy? Nice to see you today. Steve says, where will your mom sponsor you? What's up, Sam? I'll run it at Blockbuster. Oh, so my mom's essentially sponsoring me in my Facebook streaming anonymous addiction. Like how I'm never streaming on Facebook again. Next day, I'm on Facebook. So I'm done streaming on Facebook. The only way I can change my mind on that is if for a week straight, I do my live stream here and talk about why we should stream on Facebook again, and if you all are supportive of that. I find to make real change, I need to be accountable. Because like with alcohol, you know, that's what I do. I wouldn't be accountable. I'd tell everybody I'm never drinking again. And then all of a sudden I just drink again. People are like, what the hell? You know, especially my parents, my friends. I tell people I'm never gambling again. What helps is to be accountable. And I've struggled with moving off of Facebook and then sticking to that because, you know, I get instant... I used to get a lot of instant gratification on Facebook. Like, I go live and there's just, you know, hundreds of people watching, thousands of views on almost every single live stream. And I've chosen to move away from there because that doesn't... Facebook does not seem like a good place for me. If I want to be supported as a creator, if I want to reach the biggest possible audience, if I want to just use one platform, Facebook does not seem to be the place to be for me. I want to just stream one place and have the community in one spot, ask you to show up and follow. You know, I want one platform that can do it all, and YouTube's the only one that can do it all. YouTube's the top place where people watch gaming content. Because everybody knows if you need help with a game, you can go to YouTube. So even people that don't normally watch any kind of gaming streams go watch stuff on YouTube. YouTube is truly the best place for gaming content, so I don't want to do it. But I've struggled to be accountable, and I'm like, oh, I'm only streaming on YouTube or Twitch, and then suddenly I switch. Oh, yeah, give me that. Yeah, we hit him up with this thing. Yeah, you just hold this down and run it across the screen. I mean, the guns in this game are not that much different than each other. You still have to hold it down and it... Oh, back to the Magnum, rude. This dude? Yeah, you need to quit all that clowning around if you don't want to get shot in the ass. Thought about giving that police officer one. For example, I found that for maintaining a healthy weight, you know, being accountable and telling you exactly how I eat and, you know, telling my family and everybody like what I'm doing, that's helped a lot. I think we need other people to help us be accountable and not relapse into, oh, banged her right in the boobies. Banged her right in the boobies. This poor dude with a knife hadn't gotten it in once. Wow, I missed that dude hella times. I like how some of these... Look at this dude! Dude, he's just getting me to miss shots right there. %37% accuracy. Well, we cleared all the, quote, bad guys. Now, maybe from their point of view, I'm the bad guy. Who knows why they're actually trying to shoot me? Maybe I'm like I went John Wick on all their families or something. Dude, this subway is intense. Subway is intense. We're up for it, though. I like when I get to do before. I've been fired too many times. We gotta one-shot him. Ah, Mr. Knife. Dude, he missed with his knife. That's funny. I'm gonna just start shooting everybody. I don't know why you're running through the middle of this train right now. Ah, man. Wish the Super Nintendo mouse worked. Oh no, we're down to no credits. And this dude's got hella throwing knives. Come on, we gonna beat this level. We're gonna beat this level. Enough of the throwing knives, big boy. Dude, he's blocking all my shots with bullets. Where do I need to shoot this dude? Oh, right when he's going to throw it, okay. Dude, this guy's deflecting hella bullets, man. Come on, finish him! Oh yeah, there it is. We got him. Let's go, baby. Alright, we cleared him off. Kung Fu Classic says, I feel you deserve, so I'll copy and paste that in here. We got all kinds of hits. Less than 50% accuracy, though. Good enough. All right, so what do we got? 2002? All right, Kung Fu Classic says, hi, Jerry, I feel you deserve so many more subs. However, I also feel you're relatively nonchalant about growth. Do you think that's fair to say? Well, I imagine we've got a lot more subs coming. And in the past, I've been too focused about making it happen as fast as possible by any means necessary, short of like hacking Warzone or, you know, doing something dishonest that I wouldn't want to tell anybody about. Although, I was less committed to the honesty, especially like 10 years ago when I first started out online. But the more I've gotten sober, or the longer I've been sober, and delved into my values, the more strict I've gotten about, you know, anything I do needs to be transparent and honest. You know, like when I was on Udemy, I paid for reviews on my courses. And that was in the gray area at a minimum. I mean, I paid for hundreds of reviews, and it made me a lot of money, too. You know, I mean, a lot of money. So what I've learned is, if you pursue growth at any cost, it has this toxicity. It comes tumbling down. It's unsatisfying. So I'm very interested in having sustainable, honest, consistent growth over time. What I've done in the past, I've been too focused on rapid growth now. And I sacrificed in ways that weren't appropriate for the long term. Like, for example, I found on Facebook the best way I could grow in the short term was just to play a whole bunch of Warzone every day. But that didn't work out well when I got an audience that expected me to play Warzone, and then I got sick of playing Warzone. And then when I played other games, people would be all pissed off that I wasn't playing Warzone. And, you know, complaining, telling me, play Warzone, play Warzone. So what I've learned, I am very focused on growth, but I've learned that it needs to be sustainable growth. And it, you know, I could play a different game every day indefinitely. That's something I know I could do indefinitely. I don't have to play the same games. I love playing all the different games. It challenges me. It's very memorable. Like, I played that Project Wunderwaffe game the other day. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. I would love to play that again. You know, and yeah, some of the games I don't really care about playing again. Player one. Some of the games, it's like, oh, I'm glad that's over with, you know? Some of the games like this, it's like, this is cool to play for a couple minutes. Do I really want to main this game, though? No. But it's cool to just, like, reminisce and remember playing this game. Pick that up. Automatic. Dang, that dude shot the gun out of my hand? So I've learned to slow and steady growth is ideal. Slow and steady, sustainable, organic growth is ideal. Basically, if I had taken that pursuit from the beginning, you know, that would have provided the highest return. So therefore, that's my strategy for the next 20 years is slow, steady, sustainable, consistent growth. You know, if I tell you at the beginning, hey, you want to follow me because I play a different game every stream, but then I start playing Warzone every stream, that screws things up. Ah, Brandon did it! Brandon did it! Ow! Ow! Brandon's in here. Now Brandon needs to go cancel his... Brandon now needs to cancel his Facebook membership. Thank you, Brandon Wilkinson, for becoming a member on the channel. Appreciate you supporting wherever I've went. Brandon supported on Patreon at first. Still had his Facebook subscription going. I think Brandon sent some stuff on Twitch. And this is my final answer, YouTube. This is the final answer. So welcome to the community. Thank you very much for becoming a member, Brandon. I think we've got like 15 members on the channel now. Members pay $5 a month at the basic level, and you get little perks for like $10 or $25 a month. The basic members at $5 a month, you get the heart next to your name. Everybody can see you're a member. Really helps me to make ends meet for my streaming here, so thank you very much, Brandon, for joining today. Appreciate your support on YouTube. And the more members there are, the more people want to join and become members too. I'm glad I just straight up missed that guy. Anytime you become a member, send a super chat, you get that top spot too. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Nice to see you today. Awesome guy. Awesome Game 38. Nice to see you. I was just thinking of you today. I'm like, I wonder if Awesome Game 38 is going to come back and watch anything. I really like being able to know almost everybody in the chat. One thing I've seen too is I can definitely look at my past performance and say there's part of me that really hates being big. There's definitely part of me that hates having the chat moving so fast that I can't read it, that there's so many people, that all these toxic people are drawn to seek attention. And I'm warming up to, you know what? I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure what I've got to share gets out to everybody who might love hearing it. That everybody who would love to see all these different games, love to be in the community, will find it. And it's just like with dating, in a sense that, you know, if you want to have a great relationship, you need to prepare to receive a great relationship. And, you know, if you're acting like and identifying and thinking and your whole life is set up based on being single, it may be difficult to bring a relationship into your life, because you essentially have to die and let go of a big part of yourself, your habits, in order to receive this new relationship. And in high school, I was not ready for that. You know, a girl that might have made a fantastic wife was there, but I wasn't ready to receive that. And I've learned that, you know, make sure what you really want and what you're preparing to receive go together. So I'm preparing to receive 11 million subscribers now. And that means it's a sacred experience today to just enjoy having, you know, the 11 people watching right now. I can really connect with 11 people. You know, it's a little more difficult to connect with, you know, 2,000 watching. It's a lot more difficult. And I need to make the deepest relationships possible with each of the 11 people here, so that I am grounded when there are more and more people here. So I've pursued growth too much in the past, and I've done it in ways that weren't sustainable. And now, you know, so it's like Thomas Edison tried to invent the light bulb a whole bunch of different ways, and then finally got it right. So I think we're onto a formula that is an absolute winner. It really takes 11 years of experience creating online, you know, 5-6 years of experience off and on gaming, puts it into one concrete, clear formula. Yes, Brandon is in the house. Thanks for being a member, Brandon. You're gonna keep your Facebook one now, too? All right. Well, Awesome Game 38 says, now that you're thinking of me, I'm here. Brandon, thanks for brightening my day and becoming a member on the channel today. Much love, Brandon. I see two in order. One thing that makes a big difference is the more I can think of each of you, there's this mutual thing where I think of you and you think of me. That's because we're all consciously connected. I was just listening to a video today that said the Galactic Federation of Worlds built a consciousness net above this planet to help all of us connect with each other. So, you know, all of us are connected to each other. This video I was reading today was also saying that Queen Elizabeth is either a reptilian or is possessed by a reptilian. And the video said that Jay-Z, Angelina Jolie, and lots of other celebrities these are actually possessed by reptilians. And I believe that's very possible. She said in the video that thousands of people call up every year to say that they saw Queen Elizabeth, but that she looked like a 10-foot tall, you know, at some point they saw her as a 10-foot tall reptilian. And the basic story with that is the reptilians were here first. They were, you know, reptilians are basically a lot like us, except they're like a 10-foot tall, 2-foot dinosaur, kind of like a T-Rex. And they actually evolved here and were on this planet. And they've been here since the dinosaurs were here. And another extraterrestrial race, the Anunnaki, came here and made human beings out of the mammals that were here. The Neanderthals that were here. And then, you know, the reptilians only agreed to that so that they could get help from the Anunnaki also. Then the reptilians agreed that to share the planet with us and to remain invisible to humans. And in order to do that, they bond their souls, or kind of try and push the soul of the human body out and take control of human bodies, and they also will be invisible. Like, an interesting thing I read, so the video I was listening to today had a very interesting overlap with this book, Ceres Colony Cavalier. This is one of the best books I've ever read. I interviewed the author. It's one of the few non-gaming videos on my channel now. And in this book, you can just search Jerry Banfield Ceres Colony and it'll come up. In this book, the author said that he saw a tall reptilian on Earth, but it was wearing an invisibility suit. So I guess they've agreed not to be visible to humans openly, but to just work in like secret government bases and stuff. And I find that, and the good news about all this is kind of the past. We're transitioning into a time of, you know, all of our systems seem to be set up right now based on these reptilian aliens secretly controlling everything that happens in the background through royal bloodlines, through governments, and secret power structures and systems of manipulations. For example, the television and satellite, you know, the communications networks have been controlled behind the scenes by these reptilian aliens who seek to, you know, basically dominate us and make us do what they want done. And then there's about 10 or 20% of the population like me that you would call a starseed that came here from another planet that was a more evolved being and then incarnated back as a human to assist the humans. If you think of it like high school, you could think of it like a 12th grader who chose to go back into 3rd grade or incarnate back into 3rd grade in order to help the 3rd graders graduate and evolve. However, unlike if you went, however, it's not obvious though. At least, you know, physically, it's not obvious. Like if a 12th grader sat in a classroom with a 3rd grader, it'd be very visually obvious. But it's more like if you actually incarnated as a 3rd grader, kind of like if you traveled back in time and you remembered, you know, that you'd already done 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And the video I'm listening to, so if you're a starseed, you might, if you've always felt lonely and like you didn't fit in, and that this Earth was a very strange place that didn't make sense, you know, often that is the characteristics of a starseed, because, you know, kind of regular humans, so to speak, do fit in, feel very comfortable, like, yeah, this makes perfect sense. You know, like how most 3rd graders would feel like they fit right in 3rd grade. But if you went back to 3rd grade now, you'd feel like, I don't fit in here. This, you know, you left behind people who understand you. This place doesn't make sense. Why do they act like this? You know, it might be pretty challenging to go back to 3rd grade at this point. So I love listening to videos like this. If you want, I could share the video out as a post or in the chat that I'm listening to, but I love listening to stuff like this. And I love sharing these things while I'm gaming, because this is my way of teaching, of sharing, this is my platform for assisting human growth, human spiritual development, helping us transition to a world of free human beings instead of slave beings. It seems for a long time humans have basically been slave beings. And I'm no slave being, I'm a free being, and I know that. Which is why this life's been frustrating sometimes. It's like, why do I feel like a slave being? I know this isn't all there is. Or you could think of humans kind of like a pet. You know, it's like you're teaching your dog. It's like you're teaching your dog to, you know, be more human. You could think of it like that. This is what I get into. Oh, I'll put that. Steve says the Anunnaki helped by creating Homo sapiens with the God particle. That's cool. All right, Kung Fu Classics asked a good question. We'll get into that in here. And I'll paste the URL of this video I'm watching too. So I'll grab the URL. If you're interested to hear, you know, the source material kind of, I'll give you the actual video. I'll give you the actual video in the chat here. So it's called, the name of the video is called Elizabeth April, Astral Projection, Alien Abduction, Hybrid Species, and Reincarnation. Again, it's Elizabeth April, Astral Projection of Alien Abduction, Hybrid Species, and Reincarnation. This is what I love about YouTube, is that you've got this kind of information on there.
Player one.
Alright, so Kung Fu Classics asked, in 6 months, how many viewers do you aim to have? What I find is helpful is to not set specific goals on what I want to get. What I do is I set goals on what I want to give, and I make sure that what I want to give is in line with what you want to receive. And I mean you in the collective sense, not, you know, both in the individual sense. You that is here is part of the you that's collective. But for me, it's imagining out of everybody who could watch my videos, everybody who could possibly watch my videos, you know, what is most desired from everybody who could watch all my videos? And it seems what's most desired is for me to play a different game every single stream. I've been directly connecting to all of my subscribers, past, present, and future. You know, what do you want from me? What can I give that you would find most helpful in reaching unity consciousness, in attracting your attention to me? You know, what can I give that would be most helpful for you in knowing our oneness, in brightening your day, in helping you learn something new, showing you, you know, a game you used to love and enjoy that you miss? You know, how can I serve you? Like, thinking to myself basically as a waiter in a restaurant, what would you like me to bring you? Now, of course, there's some subscribers that like me to grind Warzone every day. There's some subscribers that like me to make crypto videos. There's some subscribers that like me to, you know, be on Facebook. So what I do is I connect to everybody as much as possible. And they're like, okay, collectively, what would you all like? And then for me, what would I like to give? I don't want to give crypto videos. I made a few crypto videos before. I don't want to give crypto videos. You know, the crypto videos are old and go out of style fast. I'm no crypto expert either. You know, I'm just throwing opinions out there. If I want to make great crypto videos, I need to constantly research crypto, you know, see what's going on in order to make great videos. I love researching video games and finding all these different games free to play. I love going to the game store to buy the games. To me, the work that's really right for each of us to do, so to speak, is one we naturally feel a passion for. So I've done a lot of work on that, and what I'd like to give over the next 6 months, I would like to have played 200 different games live over the next 2 months. So I've got a couple hundred games I've played so far. In the next 6 months, I would like to double the unique games that I have on my channel. And now, why I work and operate like this is because, you know, what I just shared with you is something I control completely. I don't control how many people subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's not within my control. Where do I shoot? The enemy doesn't seem to be taking any damage. So I don't control how many of you subscribe to my YouTube channel. What I control is I control what I give and the spirit in which I give it in. I don't see anything I'm doing that's making a dent on this helicopter. Oh, there, I shot it. Alright, I'm shooting a helicopter up here that's working. So, this dude's just missing every shot, which is kind of funny. So I don't control what I get, I control what I give. And what I want to give is 200 different live streams, because that'll be about 180 days if I do an average of like 1.5 live streams a day. You know, and then there's some days, yeah, I'd like to do about 1.5 live streams a day on average. I'd like to give you 200 different games you can watch me to play over the next 6 months. And of course I do ask for signs to make sure I'm on the right path, because, or again, right and wrong are so arbitrary and relative. You know, one person's idea of right, you know, Hitler's idea of right might be a lot different than, you know, your idea of right. So it's important you know, I want to help raise the consciousness on this planet, help people see that you're all one, know your divine nature, you know, help people be free from slavery, debt slavery, money slavery, mental, you know, identification slavery. I like to help people on this planet be free and enjoy life and remember, you know, your divinity. So I'd like to play 200 different games live within the next 6 months. And I would imagine a sign that was in the right, or that I'm connected with you and that is the collective desire for me. I would imagine in 6 months that my channel was getting a couple thousand views a day organically before I hid a whole bunch of videos, and now it's down to about 500 or 600 organic views a day because I hid most all my non-gaming videos and I hid my repetitive Warzone streams. I would imagine we would be up over 1,000 views a day and maybe a couple thousand views a day, almost all on gaming videos in about 6 months if I essentially double the amount of games on my channel. And yeah, that's how I look at the future. And what's awesome with playing different games is I'm really unlocking a lot of unexpected possibilities. For example, if I play Warzone every day, there's a lot of things that aren't going to happen that can happen if I play different games every day. For example, most games on YouTube, to live stream most games on YouTube, are not that competitive. Like, I would almost guarantee you, yeah, I'd bet you 99 to 1. You know, I bet you $99, you bet $1, and if I win, I get your $1, and if you win, you get my $99. I bet you 99 to 1 nobody else is streaming Lethal Enforcers on Super Nintendo right now. So there's no competition for this in terms of, if you want to watch somebody play Lethal Enforcers live, there's no one else doing it right now. There's nobody else playing Lethal Enforcers live right now, I would imagine. And on a lot of the games I will live stream over the next 6 months, there won't be anybody else live streaming those. I will be the only option if you're looking to watch some live gameplay on that game. Now, so I will play some new games the day they come out. Like, I'll play Modern Warfare 2 when it comes out. I'll play the new Warzone 2 when it comes out. But on a lot of games, I won't have any competition. And that means occasionally I'll hit an indie developer. I'll be streaming their game. Occasionally an indie developer will find me and be like, oh, that's cool. And they'll share my YouTube video out to their following and be like, hey, look, Jerry Banfield played our game today. And by me playing different games, there's a whole lot of unexpected things that are going to happen that won't happen if I just grind the same games over and over. Because almost everybody thinks the same or very similar, that there's all these open desires collectively that go unfulfilled. So there's a lot of things that are going to happen over the long term of my channel that from this point of view will look unexpected. They'll look like divine intervention. They'll look like luck. But from my point of view, they're not. These are a part of the complete process. These are things that'll happen because of thinking differently. Because instead of just thinking how most other streamers think and playing whatever's popular, because of not doing that, I'll be showing up in places where there's no competition. And therefore, all these people, you know, there's people that have came in and watched almost every stream that are new. Like, a guy came in and subscribed, I think it was Ralph, came in and subscribed the other night while I was playing Little Nightmares. And Ralph said that he was looking for Little Nightmares videos. He was looking for people playing Little Nightmares, and there was probably nobody else streaming Little Nightmares. So he's looking around for Little Nightmares. I'm live. He finds a channel, and there we go. Repeat that process a whole bunch of times. Now, at first, it might not look like what's happening. Ralph subscribes here. Awesome Game 38 came in while I was playing Mario Kart the other day. You know, it might not look like much, but repeat the process over and over again, and it'll really start to add up over time. That's what a lot, like Mr. Beast, it took him a year to get to 100 subscribers. It took him another year to get to 1,000 subscribers. And then it's taken 5 more years to get to 100 million. Now, his case is not what you would call normal, but he has dedicated himself to making amazing videos on YouTube. I watched his newest 100 million subscriber one. Like, that's a great video. It's a really well done video. And you can tell, as you know, he's so sincerely thankful for YouTube and for everybody that watches his videos. And one reason he's grown so much on YouTube is, unlike a lot of other creators, he is really focused on YouTube. Instead of like being, you know, trying like me, I've been all over. I focus on Facebook, Twitch, and I switch it up too. Facebook, Steam, now we're on YouTube, Udemy, Twitch, Medium. I kept switching up all the time where I was focused. Whereas Mr. Beast, or Jimmy focused real hard and dedicated himself totally to YouTube. Like, where, you know, when Jimmy's sitting there grinding his YouTube channel, I was out getting drunk, having sex, you know, doing all these other things. Jimmy's sitting there grinding away on his YouTube channel constantly. And then when I am online, then I was on Facebook and, you know, split my attention. So now I've got my attention focused totally on YouTube. And from focusing totally on YouTube, I've been able to see some things like, I could see in the algorithm that if I've got several thousand videos up that are not related to gaming, that occasionally YouTube is recommending those videos. And when they're recommending those videos, even if it's only 2-3 times a month, you know, the click-through rate is very low. So then YouTube's not going to recommend another video because nobody clicked on that one to start with. So I got the insight that if I want my YouTube channel to do better, I need to take down all unlist almost all my non-gaming videos. And that insight came from focusing heavily on just YouTube. So that was quite an answer to your question. Thanks for asking about that. What's up, Daniel? Nice to see you. Yes, it is the quality of the viewers that count. And if we consistently build a community of viewers who really love the stream, it naturally attracts more of the same. But like what I did on Facebook, I prioritized grow as big as possible, as fast as possible. And I didn't care if it included viewers that hated the stream. I'd let them hang out and chat because I realized, and this is why it's important to focus your objectives. Like if you want to grow as big as possible, as fast as possible, it's great to have haters who can't stand your stream come in there and watch for 2 hours and comment about how your stream sucks 50 different times, and then their friends and family come on there to comment about how much your stream sucks, and then their friends and family see it pop up in the news feed. I don't want to make a community of people that think my streams suck and that just watch to troll me and to hope that I lose at the game. You know, that's... And I want a community of those of you that there's nothing else you'd rather do right now than watch this.
Player 1.
You know, I don't want a community of people just trying to get negative attention here. And that's, you know, that's why you need experience in life to refine clearly what you want. Kung Fu Classic says, your opinions in crypto are fantastic from my opinion. From a subjective point of view, I think the discussion should be the title or thumbnail and the game should be the background. Now, I've tested, I appreciate you mentioning that because I've tested it both ways. And so what happens if I put the discussion point as the title of the video, and it's controversial, and controversy is not wrong, it's just controversy because people have reactions to it. You know, like when I put, I'm black now, as the title of my video, you know, then, and that was simply the discussion point I had for that day. Like that, I had put titles about how aliens are messing with us. I'd put comedy titles. I'd put all kinds of titles in the past on my videos. I'd put crypto titles. You know, the day I decided, hey, I'm black now. I'm being transracial. You got transgender people? I'm gonna be transracial. And the day I put that up, you know, that headline went viral. But it also kind of had a very destructive force in the community, too. It brought a bunch of people in who didn't care about gaming at all. It brought a bunch of people in just to hate, and it also led to my Facebook account being demonetized. So I reflected on that, you know, and I've got headlines all over the place I could put up, like, you know, I did a video on TikTok that got my account permanently banned, and I literally, all I said was, is Vladimir Putin being influenced by aliens? Log on, my video starts to go viral. And, you know, my account gets permanently banned within a few hours of my video going viral. Asking if Vladimir Putin is being influenced by aliens. I mean, that didn't seem to break any terms of service either. But TikTok seems to be a platform that's heavily controlled by, you know, the negative, fear, reptilian forces, you know, that want to oppress people. So is Facebook. So I've learned that, and TikTok restored my account, but by banning my account, they were able to stop that video from going viral without actually taking the video down. Very clever on their part. By permanently banning my account, it stopped all my videos from going out for a minute, which killed the momentum on that Vladimir Putin video. So they were able to stop the video from going viral without, even though I technically didn't violate any terms, they just banned my account. Then when I said something about it, oh, sorry about that, here, you're unbanned. but the video got killed. It's like, wow, this is some manipulative BS going on online. So I've learned I don't want to be overtly controversial. There's, you know, you got Andrew Tate, Russell Brand. There's lots of people, Joe Rogan, that are overtly and obviously controversial, and they're doing a great job. For better or worse, they don't. I'm not needed to be overtly controversial. I want to be discreet. Because that is much more sustainable. Nicholas, thank you for the $1.99! Woo, yeah!
Nicholas Evans tipped $1.99 at youtube.com/Jerry Banfield. What up, Jerry? Love this game at the arcade.
Yes, thank you, Nicholas, for the first super chat of the day. Kung Fu Classes says, you think I should be a soft Andrew Tate? Well, what I'm looking for... Alright, so there's a second thing. So if I decide what the conversation subject should be before I go live, I'm not as receptive to listening. I'm not as receptive to listening if I decide what the conversation subject should be beforehand. I'm not as good of a listener. And I'm also prone to filming pre-recorded videos, because if I already know what the topic is, I might as well forget the games. Let's just straight talk crypto. Let's just straight talk something else. If I do topics, if I topic a video on something besides the game, like if you notice, about a month ago I made a bunch of videos, several crypto videos and other topics, and yes, those were getting views, those were getting watched, and I don't want to do videos like that for the long term. And you know, it essentially, if I do that, I'm not playing video games anymore. Like I want to be all in on a singular approach. What I found that's not so effective is constantly doing all these different things. Like, if I'm gonna do crypto videos, and if I'm gonna do videos just, you know, instead of having a game up there, just do a video like this. If we're gonna just do videos like this, I might as well get rid of all these. We don't even need to play the games anymore. And then if I already know what I want to talk about, hell, I don't need your opinion on it. In fact, I'd rather not have your opinion on it. If I already know what I want to talk about, in a lot of cases, I'd rather just film a pre-recorded video and get my opinion out there, and, you know, then you can put yours in the comments, but I don't even necessarily need to see it. So I've tested doing all these different approaches, and the games offer an element of relatability. The games help bring in people who might not think about or be interested on the surface in looking at this. And the games also bring in a consistency. And the games are a much more interesting background than just talking about it that way. So I've tested it lots of different ways. It seems the very best approach I can use is to play games and just have conversations, because when I show up without a topic to discuss, I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to answer the questions you have, and you know, then people can actually watch my videos too without even getting that deep into things. Like, you can just watch the first few minutes of gaming. So I really like playing, I really like gaming and just having great conversations during the game. Out of all the things I've tested, this seems to be the very best. And yes, Mr. Beast is not the perfect case study to look at, in the sense that he has been obsessed with growth and numbers, and he says he's still often stressed out and, you know, unhappy with his results lots of times. So, yeah, Mr. Beast is not the perfect case study in the sense of that's not who I want to be like. I want to be somebody who's helps you, I want to be somebody that's helps you have, you know, attain unity consciousness, love yourself, learn new things, have new experiences, And, you know, to me, the video games provide a common thread of relatability. Like, you might, and you can watch without agreeing with every subject, too, because if I title, like, for example, when I changed my race to black, you know, people who disagreed with that some of them felt like they had to stop watching, that we, you know, they couldn't be here anymore because I said now I identify as black. And, you know, a lot of people who watched felt like, well, I can't watch Jerry anymore. Whereas you could easily watch my streams now. You know, you could spend hours watching my streams and not realize that I identify my race as black.
No.
And if you did, you would essentially get that in context. It wouldn't be thrown out of context at you. So I've tested it a lot of different ways. I really like playing the video games and then just talking about whatever, you know, like whatever you want to hear about that day. Let me keep reading the chat. Cranberoni says Putin fears you. That maybe that's possible. Maybe, I think if you put something out there that has an element of truth like that to it, you know, then that's where you can run into some problems. And I'm taking it that there's some truth to what I said because of the actions that were taken against my account. Because if there was absolutely no truth and it was just stupid, then who cares if that video goes viral or not? If there's no truth to it, then why not let that go viral? Why not let people just think about it? But if there's some truth to it, and somebody doesn't want that truth to be out there, then you need to censor it. Daniel says, yes, we need great games and wise conversations about anything. It's a very unique and relaxing conversations. Lil Phil says, keep up the great work. Thank you. Lisa says, personally, I don't care about crypto. I like that Jerry brings his wisdom to every topic. His focus in his community and how we feel, which is really rare. For that alone is why I'm on. Well, Lisa, thank you for helping me understand why you love being here. Kung Fu Classic says, for the most part, people don't really say or ask anything when 10 or 15 are people in here. You could give views at a sex robot and take questions afterward. Yes, I definitely did that on my streams in the past. I like, too, that the games are something we have in common. Like, yeah, whereas if I just, for example, if I make a topic in the past, like when I made that video, you know, about how I'm changing my race, we talked about a lot of other stuff on there, but, you know, almost anybody paid attention to was the race change. So I like that by titling things based on the game, I'm able to be discreet and resist censorship and resist public outrage and not, you know, I would say niche, you know, the niche crazies, censorship outrage. I'm able to resist that much better. And I like that then we're free to talk about anything. We can talk about crypto, we can talk about, you know, sex. We can talk about 5 different conspiracy theories. We can have a whole bunch of different conversations in one stream. Which to me, if you've actually watched the stream before, makes it much more interesting. And that way, there's a little bit of mystery. You know you're going to get a game, but you don't really know what else we're going to talk about. Which to me makes it a lot of fun. Dude, this shotgun is cleaning up. I really like that. So I've been looking for the perfect formula for my creativity. And I think we've got it down pretty good. Play a different game every live stream. Always title the live stream based on the game. And then then we free flow. You know, I show up ready to play the game and ready to listen, and I talk about whatever you ask about. I really like that formula. I think it's an easy way to get new people involved who find me. If I title based off... Nicholas became a member too! Oh, God! Nicholas is the very first legendary member. Katie Patton was the first epic member. Lisa Ladybug Martin, way back when, was one of the very first rare members. Nicholas just joined at the epic member, which means if there's ever an opportunity to play in-game, I give epic members the priority or the opportunity to play with me. Nicholas Evans dropped the $25 a month membership, the first one ever to do so on the channel. Nicholas, thank you very much for the huge, consistent support on here. I love that on YouTube you can offer different membership levels. So thank you, Nicholas, for becoming an epic member. If there's ever a chance to play together, you know, for example, if you have a new game I haven't played before and you want to play it, let me know what it is. And the legendary members, I make every effort to get you in the game. For example, when the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 comes out, anyone who's a legendary member, you know, if I got a spot that I can invite you into the party, I'll get you in the party. It won't be very often, but whenever there is the opportunity, I'll get you in. Thank you very much, Nicholas, for dropping that legendary membership. On the epic membership, you get a priority chat response. You know, I'll make an effort to respond to your comments. You know, if the chat gets busy, I'll make an effort to respond to your comments first. Fortunately, the chat's not been that busy. I've been able to read everybody's. Cranberoni says, and I love to know how you're doing. Cranberoni, thanks for letting me know how you've been doing. Yes, I know, I am certain there is a lot of growth coming to me. And I get plagued by thoughts of doubt and stuff, but I have this knowing. I remember that I walked into this AA meeting before, and this lady who was very, you know, you might think of her as weird and kind of out there. I think of her as like, you know, she's on a different level of consciousness. She had all these things growing in her throat, and she just didn't go to the doctor, let them all grow, and then died. You know, very much kind of like a out of the box thinker. And she didn't say much. But one day I walked in, she just looks at me and she says, "You're gonna be famous." Like out of nowhere. I'm like, really? Of course, at the time I already thought I was pretty famous, but I know what's coming, and I've been fighting it a bit. Like, I don't want to be famous. Being famous is annoying. It's a pain in the butt. And I see today that I've taken time to be very intentional about, you know, what I create and how I become famous. You know, I see it's very difficult to be a famous, controversial figure. I don't want to go that road. I want to go discreetly controversial. Nicholas, hey, what's up, Rachel? Nice to see you. Rachel was one of the very first members on the channel as well. Good to see you. I was thinking, I'm like, I wonder how Rachel's doing. Cranberoni says, when you're having fun, it shows. Daniel says, you're famous to us. I know. I'm glad. I hope we can meet up. I'd like to do a world tour someday. I think we need to wait a little bit. But I'd like to meet as many of you in person as possible. We'll definitely... This channel, the only thing that's really been lacking on this channel has been a consistent, focused formula. So we've got a lot of growth coming on this channel, so I invite you to enjoy the time when I can read every single message. Let's all enjoy this time together. A lot of growth is coming. I always grow. You know, it always comes, and this time I want it to be the most patient, consistent, and sustainable growth ever. I've grown so fast on other places that it's collapsed. Like Udemy, I blew my Udemy up so fast it came crashing down. My Facebook gaming grew so fast it came crashing down. And, you know, my Steam grew so fast it came crashing down. And the thing in common was that I built things in a way that weren't sustainable for me. And I've asked myself just so many times, is there anything you'd rather create in the long term than playing video games? Because Yeah, I gotta create something that I really want to give for the next 20 years. And I can't think anything better than this. Yes, Crazy C, I am a grower and not a shower. That is correct. That is correct. And Kung Fu Classics, I appreciate all of your suggestions. I am listening. And you've helped me see that I have thoroughly reviewed and researched the different possibilities. And from that point of view, it's time to set a formula for long-term consistency, focus, and success. And we've got one. Play a different game every live stream, only on YouTube. Talk about anything, put it in the time points, and then repeat over and over again. Don't play the same game twice. Do not title it anything except the video game. Then you can be black if you want to. You can talk about your sex life. You can talk about aliens and Putin getting it in the rear from a crocodile. We can talk about whatever we want in here. The ads might get limited occasionally. No big deal, you know? And you can clip, if you find a really great moment, you can take any part of my live stream, clip it, and put it anywhere you want to. You can put the whole live stream on your channel, and you can title it whatever. You can do whatever you want to. All of my stuff I create is Creative Commons 0, which means you can do whatever you want with it. And Rachel says, Metaverse with me and Elon. Nicholas says, glad you didn't give up. Me too. I quit gaming twice when it was much easier to not quit. And this time, the last 5 months, the pressure to quit has been tremendous internally and, from the external nastiness. And I'm glad I quit twice before, because I definitely would have quit if I hadn't already done it twice. Like, if somebody asked yesterday, was it you, Kung Fu Classics? What do you think would have happened if you had never quit gaming? I think the first time something awful, or, like the demonetization, the first time there was something like when I changed my race, the first time something like that came along, I would have quit. So, I'm here to stay, and I'm here to stay for the next... I'm on a 20-year plan right now. I want to play 10,000 different games on YouTube over the next 20 years. So, I appreciate you being here and supporting that. Big thank you to Nicholas Evans for becoming a legendary $25 a month member. And big thank you to Brandon Wilkinson for becoming a member today, and Nicholas Evans for the super chat. I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to go hang out with the family. I love you each. Appreciate the time we've had together today. It was good for me. Hope it was good for you. So I'll say goodbye to Kung Fu Classics, Rachel Bellin, Nicholas Evans, Crazy C, Lisa Ladybug Martin, Daniel Baloo, Steve Riley. Thanks a lot for being here at the end of the stream, my friends. Have a great day, and I'm hoping to do at least one more stream again today.